Okay, then. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Hello, guys. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Can you guys hear me? Please confirm that once, guys. I can see Sudeep, Mukesh, Akash, Sabri, Wellington. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Hello, Utpal. How are you guys? Sorry for the delay, guys. I think there was some issue with the streaming platform. But no issues. We are back. So good evening, guys. Good evening, Himanshu. Good evening, BNB, Utpal, Mukesh. Please confirm. Okay, that's great. Okay. Okay, so first of all, guys, good evening, everyone. Good evening, and I welcome you all to this JavaScript Essentials. Just, I think, a week back, we completed SQL Essentials. Now, today, we're going to be starting with something called as JavaScript, okay, which is one of my favorite things. So, I first of all hope that you guys are really, really excited for this 3-day course, everyone. Please tell me, show me some excitement, guys. Come on. Are you guys excited for this 3-day course of JavaScript Essentials? Because we'll be learning a lot of things. We'll be learning basic programming. We'll be learning, uh, how to deal with, DOM, how to create something, how to work with HTML and JavaScript together, all that stuff, how to manipulate CSS. So don't worry if you don't understand what I'm speaking right now. In 3 days, you will understand all that very simply. We're going to make things as well. So first of all, guys, I really hope that you guys are excited. Good evening, everyone. Now, before we start, I would just like to introduce this course to you so that you can also benefit from it. So Anshul, can you please share my screen? I'll just basically tell you some basics about how to join this course if you have not registered and where to submit your assignments. So basically in this course, I'm going to be giving you assignments here and there. So I'll give you assignment on day 2, I'll give you an assignment on day 3, and you have to submit it to get the certificate. Okay? So Anshul, can you share my screen? Are you there? Anshul, can you please share my screen so that I can show them? Good evening, Naveen. Good evening, Sudeep, Subrat. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Himanshu. Anshul, can you share my screen? Okay, guys. I think, yeah. Thank you so much, Anshul. Thank you. And can you make it a full screen, please? Can you make it full screen? Yeah. Thank you so much. So, guys, here we go. If you go in the video's description here, the first link that you'll get is of registration. You just have to click on that link, the first one, and you have to come to this page. You'll basically come on this page, and what you have to do is you have to register yourself. So now I'm already registered. That's why I can see this page. Okay, you will get basically, a very simple form where you have to either put your email ID or your contact number. And once you log into the site, you just have to click on enroll now. That's all. Very simple, 2 buttons. Just go on that link. You'll by default get a sign up link. Just sign yourself up and just put your email ID and you're registered. And guys, registration is very important because without registration, you won't be getting the certificate. Okay. And just after that, after every session completion, you have to mark your attendance because guys, 3 days attendance is very important if you want to get your certificate. So after today's session also, you have to click on this second link and mark your attendance. And every time you mark your attendance, your program progress will appear here. So 33%, 33%, and 33%. Just like that, every time you mark your attendance, basically your progress will increase. And you can all watch the videos of each and every day by coming here as well. Okay, so everything will be available on this link. Okay, so first link is for registration. If you have not registered yet, if you're directly coming here, please after the session go ahead and register yourself, and also simply go ahead on the second link and mark your attendance. And guys, every assignment that I give to you, okay, you have to submit it. So there is a third link where you can create your files, write your code in assignments, and just submit your files in this assignment links here. Okay, and finally, after completion of the 3 days of this course, you can simply go on the fifth link, that is of certificate link. You can go there and download your certificate very easily. But to guys download that certificate, you have to make sure that you mark 3 days of attendance and also register for the course. That is very, very important. Okay, so those are the few things that you have to follow, guys, to simply attend this whole course, learn cool things, and at the end get the certificate. That's all. Register yourself, mark your attendance, submit your assignment, and get your certificate. And guys, before we move ahead, I would also like to just tell you about this B.Tech CSE course. So just now we have launched a complete B.Tech CSE course in Let's Upgrade, where You're going to be learning full stack development from scratch, everything from computers to how to write your first code to learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript to going more and more. So it's a very big course. You can please go ahead and check it out. Okay. And it's an amazing course taught by a lot of amazing people working in the industry. So you can please go and check that out as well. And if you're interested, you can join it as well. And also, guys, you can refer to your friends. So you can also go ahead and refer these links to your friends. And also, guys, please give the JS Essential link and the courses link to your friends as well. Okay, so guys, those are the things that you have to follow. And if you follow them, you'll easily get the certificate. And guys, this is only an essential program. If you want to learn more, you can also check out our Java DSA course, our B.Tech CSE program, or our full stack web development program as well. Just check them out. If you find it amazing, if you find it good, you can also go ahead and check it out and also share it with your friends. Okay, so guys, that's all from the introduction. But keeping things aside, don't forget to mark your attendance and get your certificate at the end. Okay, so guys, let's go. Let's start with today's session. Everyone, I really hope that you're excited. Let's close everything and let's start with today's stuff. Okay, and let me first of all get the YouTube link so that I can see your charts. Okay, cool. Now I can see your charts. Cool, 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 everyone. Okay. So now, guys, today we are starting with, okay, before we move ahead, first of all, guys, today we are going to start with something called as JavaScript. Let me just quickly go ahead and, increase the font size a little bit so that you can see it properly. So here we go. I think this much be fine. Yeah. So guys, today we are starting with something called as JavaScript, one of the most dominant programming languages going on around in the world. Okay, one of the very few languages which works in each and every domain, and we are going to be kickstarting it from today. But before we move ahead, just want to ask you a few questions. Like, for example, what do you know about JavaScript? Anything. So first of all, tell me how many of you are completely new to JavaScript? Everyone, come on the chat. Tell me how many of you are completely new to JavaScript? Come on, guys, quickly, everyone. Guys, come on, quickly. How many of you are completely new to JavaScript? Tell me. And how many of you know JavaScript already? Like, okay, I know some stuff. I know how to do basic DOM manipulation. I know how to work with Node.js or something like that. Come on, guys, tell me. Tell the advanced level. Yeah, we're going to be doing the advanced level as well. I know Dart, but no JS. That's completely fine because we're going to be learning JS from scratch, not Dart. I also know Dart. It's an amazing language. Okay. I'm intermediate, beginner, completely new, used to make website interactive. Yes. It's an interpreted language. Yes. Okay. So I can see few people giving answers, and I can see a lot of people are beginners and some know some kind of basics. Okay. Some people also know how to do DOM manipulation. That's amazing. Okay. That means everyone knows some things about JS. I only know print is like console.log in JS. Yes, you can say that. Okay. Some people are completely new and some people know a little bit of DOM manipulation. Some people know some basics. So that's amazing, guys. That's really amazing. So guys, this thing that we are learning here is for everyone. Okay. And as it is one of my favorite languages, I'm going to be trying to put everything that I know into your minds as well. Okay. And from scratch. Okay, guys. So let's start, everyone. Let's start. Let's start with what, and guys, one more thing. If you listen to me carefully, if you listen to all the definitions that I'm going to telling you, or if you listen to all the references that I'm going to be showing you, it will be like very helpful for you in interviews. So when you go in JavaScript interviews, sometimes they ask some tricky questions. So if you listen to be like, to me carefully, whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm telling about JavaScript, it will be amazing for you in interviews. Okay. So let's go, guys. Let's start, everyone. Let's talk about what exactly is JavaScript. So basically speaking, JavaScript is nothing but, a general purpose programming language. Simply speaking, it's a general purpose programming language. Now, when I say it's a programming language, that basically means it's going to help you to write code or to write logic using the concepts of, variables, loops, functions, conditions, all this stuff, right? Whatever a normal programming language has, JavaScript also has that. So simply speaking, JavaScript is a general purpose programming language, okay, which is basically used to write code, write logic using variables, loops, functions, conditions, and etc. Okay, just like any other language. But when I say that it's a general purpose programming language, we mean much more than that. When something is general purpose, that means it is basically being used at a lot of places. So basically, guys, JavaScript is, as a programming language, is used in web development. It is also used in app development. It is used in game development. It is used in machine learning. Okay, and those are basically few places. Okay, those are basically, it can also be used in robotics. So at a lot of places, guys, you can use it. Okay, JavaScript, that's why it is considered as general purpose programming language. And guys, trust me, not all programming languages do this. There are only few languages which work in these many areas. One of the very famous examples is Python. So as of now, guys, you can say that Python and JavaScript are competing at the top level because no one is like them. Some languages are working in only some places. Like for example, Java is basically used to, create backends, create APIs, or create desktop-based applications. But JavaScript is everywhere, right? If you go for C language, it's basically used for machine level application development, right? It for memory management, but not for all these things. So as of now, JavaScript and Python are two of the top level languages which are working, and they are competing, and they are working in almost all the fields: web development, app development, game development. That basically means once you learn JavaScript, you will have a lot of opportunities in different fields. But guys, today we are here to discuss completely about JavaScript. So now we at least know that, okay, fine, it's a general purpose programming language. It is used in variety of fields, so that we if you have a skill set of JavaScript, you can go in any field. And it is basically used to write code or write logic by using these programming concepts that we normally have in all the other programming languages. But what makes JavaScript stand out? To understand that, we have to go back a little in history, and we have to understand why exactly JavaScript was created. Okay, so guys, when JavaScript was not initially a general purpose language, or it was not used for all these things initially. Okay, now let me tell you guys, initially, okay, we used to create websites. Okay, in 90s, basically we used to create web pages. And now we all know that we create web pages using HTML and CSS. So we use HTML to put content on the web page, and we use CSS to style the web page. So for example, if I take an example of a website, let's say something like a flipkart.com, right? Something like this. This site is created using HTML and CSS. So all the content that you see, the image, the text, the buttons, all that are created using HTML. But the coloring, the sizing, the arrangement, the alignment, that all is what you call a styling, which is given by CSS, right? That means if you talk about web development, the two most important tiers of web development are something called as HTML, which is used to create content like image, audio, text, video, text, headings, tables, all that stuff is done by HTML. So one very important tier. The next tier is CSS, which basically gives coloring, sizing, alignment, which basically makes your HTML look beautiful. So that's the next tier. But whatever you create using HTML and CSS, they can only look like a simple page. The problem was you can only read it. What if you want to interact with it? For example, you want to click on a button and something should happen. If you want to like hover on something, like something should appear. If I click somewhere, a box appears, right? If I fill up a form and do something wrong, a validation error appears. If I scroll, I get a button. I can click on that, again go back to top. If I click here, this thing scrolls. If I go on some other sites, there are amazing animations, things are moving here and there. Who does all that? When I click somewhere, something happens. When I fill a form, something happens. All that interactions, who is responsible for all that? So guys, initially when HTML and CSS were created, your site was just a newspaper. People can come and just read it. But the thing that makes it interactive and amazing and animated is the main thing that you call as JavaScript. JavaScript is the third most important layer in the web layer. HTML for content creation, CSS for content styling, and JavaScript for making that content interactive, animated, and look more live. So guys, all the interaction that you do on the website, that thing is done via the coding language called JavaScript. And initially, guys, in the 90s, JavaScript was only created for this, because at that time there were so many languages. There was C, there was C++. So there was no reason only to create JavaScript as, a normal programming language. We had C, we had C++, we had Java. So they created JavaScript specifically for working with HTML and CSS and making that content on the web page dynamic, like these things, like these things, like this, like when you're searching and all the things appear like this, right? All these things are done using JavaScript. So JavaScript was initially created only for this. And that's why JavaScript as a programming language was only able to run inside the browser, because it was only used for that things only, right? It was only used for that thing. You write HTML, that runs on browser. You write CSS, that stylizes HTML and runs on browser. And you want a language that works with HTML and CSS. So they created JavaScript, and that also was just running on the browser. So initially, guys, when it was created, that language was a proper programming language. It has all the features of any programming language, like variables, loop, functions, conditions, but it was mainly used with HTML and CSS, and it was only running inside the browser. That means you cannot use JavaScript outside the browser in its earlier days. So guys, first of all, you got the basic understanding why JavaScript was created and what was the initial use of it. Everyone, come on, tell me. Are you understanding whatever I'm saying here? Guys, tell me, everyone, come on, quickly. I want to hear it. I hope you're understanding. So initially, JavaScript was simply created for working with HTML and CSS as a web designing development language for increasing the interactivity, dynamicness, and functionality of your web pages. But in 2009, a person named Ryan Dahl basically thought, okay, fine. If JavaScript has all the programming features and if it is only working inside the browser and only for HTML and CSS, that's the wrong thing. Because JavaScript is one of the simplest languages to learn. It has amazing syntax. It looks very beautiful and all that stuff. Right? If you write it, you'll feel it has less restrictions. It is very easy to write. Right? So he thought, why to only keep JavaScript for HTML and CSS? Why can't we take it outside the browser and use it as a general programming language? So that we can, replace Java at some places, replace C# at some places, maybe replace C++ at some places. Because outs- outside the browser, these languages were ruling. Java, C#, C++, these languages were ruling outside the browser. But inside the browser, there was only one king, that was JavaScript. But he thought, if I take JavaScript out, it will be a lot easier for people to learn web and the outside thing perfectly, because they only have to learn one language. Because see, guys, if you want to learn web, you need to learn JavaScript. If you want to learn desktop application development, you need to learn something else. If you want to learn machine learning, you need to learn something else. All that was the problem. So he thought, if we by any way take JavaScript outside the browser and use it like a general language, then it will be amazing, because people can only learn one language and do many things. And that's why he created something called as Node.js, which is nothing but a JavaScript compiler, a JavaScript runtime, a running environment for JavaScript. Not exactly a compiler, little bigger than that. Okay, it's a JavaScript runtime environment, which is nothing but a piece of software which you can install in your PC, and then you can run JavaScript anywhere in your PC. And now that means JavaScript is not at all browser dependent. Now it does not have to work with only HTML and CSS. It can be used like a normal programming language to write normal programming. And that's why now it can be used for anything. For web development was initially happening, but now you can use it for app development, game development, machine learning, robotics, and also server side development, right? Or you call it as API development, all that stuff. That means you can literally do everything in JavaScript: backend development, front end development, machine learning, game, app, web, robotics, everything. That means learn one language and do almost everything. Just like Python. Python is also there. But guys, there is one scenario where Python can't replace JavaScript, is the web development, where I'm seeing, right, where you can do all this stuff. This is something that Python can't do. This is only solely done by JavaScript. Okay, all this stuff. This is where JavaScript prevails. Okay, all these interactions can be only done by JavaScript. Okay, inside the browser, JavaScript is the king, but outside the browser also now it's slowly taking place, everywhere. Okay, so I really hope that you guys understood what exactly is JavaScript and what it was initially and what after 2009 it became. Okay, guys, so Node.js is not a language, it is just a runtime environment. It's just a running environment for JavaScript. Okay, just like you have C compiler, right? If you want to write Java, you download JDK. Just like that, if you want to write JavaScript anywhere in your PC, you have to download Node.js. But for now, we don't have to worry about it, because for now, we'll go in the old times, not exactly the old because it is still used. We'll go in the proper way and we will see how to write and run JavaScript inside the browser, and also work with HTML and also work with CSS. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create this stuff. And I really hope that you would like to learn it from me. Guys, how to click on a button and open something like this. How to hover somewhere and get a box like this. How to click somewhere and make something slide. I really hope that you want to learn it. If you focus for the next 2 days, on the third day, I will show you how to make each and every one of this by using JavaScript and only JavaScript. So HTML will be there already, CSS will be there, and JavaScript also will be there, which will be doing all these things. So I really hope you're excited for this, guys, and let's get going. So for the first 2 days, we'll be learning some basic programming. Then we'll be learning some basic DOM manipulation. And don't worry, guys, if you don't understand what is DOM, I am going to be telling you that as well. And we'll be learning how to manipulate HTML and CSS. And on the third day, we'll be creating all this stuff. Click, open something, close something, scroll something, move anything dynamically, all that using JavaScript. So in this course, guys, we are mainly focusing on learning JavaScript as a programming language and also doing some web development work with it. But once you understand more about it, you can also go ahead and learn how to create apps using that, how to create games using that, how to perform machine learning and all that stuff. Okay, so guys, that was the introduction to JavaScript. Now let's go and let's start. Now, as of now, guys, I hope you remember there are two places by which JavaScript can run. One is the browser. That means inside the browser, JavaScript runs by default. And if you want to run it outside the browser, you need Node.js. As of now, we're going to be using browser as our engine. We'll be running it there only. So we just need the browser. You don't need Node.js as of now, until and unless you want to run it outside. Yes, day 3 will be all that stuff that I showed you. Clicking, opening models, closing models, right? And also carousel if possible. But yeah, definitely let's see if we can adjust that all in 1 hour on the third day. But definitely if possible, I'll do it. Yes, carousel will be done. So, okay, guys, let's start, everyone. As I said, as of now, we're going in the browser. Now, guys, see, if you want to run JavaScript in the browser, you will need HTML page in most of the cases. So that's why we'll be also creating HTML pages, and then we'll be working with JavaScript. And at the end, inside the browser is the place where we can run it and check out all the output that we are doing the code for. Okay. So we need HTML. But once you're outside the browser, you can freely write JavaScript without HTML because it doesn't depend on HTML anymore. So remember, guys, if you're inside the browser, you need HTML page to work with JavaScript. Mostly. There are some cases by which you can avoid it, but mostly you will need HTML page and JavaScript page together. You have to write HTML and JS together. Minimal HTML, but more JavaScript. But if you're outside the browser, you can freely write JS without any worry, without any HTML. So as of now, we are dependent on HTML. So we'll be doing that as well. Okay. So let's get started, guys. Let's start, everyone. I really hope that you're excited because I am really excited. It is one of my favorite languages. This is how I started my development journey. So let's go, guys. Let's create a folder first. And I'm going to be calling it as JS Essentials. And guys, the code editor that I'll be using, okay, is going to be VS Code. So for all the new people who don't know how to get this editor, so you have to just go on your browser. Okay, I think I have an extra browser open. Let me just close that. Just go on your browser and search for VS Code download. Just search for this. I think as a programmer, as a beginner, you might be already having it. But if at all you don't have it, just click on this first link and just click on your version of operating system. For me, it's going to be Windows. So I'll just click on Windows and then it will simply download an exe file for me. And I just have to double click and install it like a normal software, guys. That's all you'd have to do. Okay, I'm not going to be doing it here because it will take a lot of time. But at your home, if you're new to this, just go to this site, just search for Visual Studio Download, Visual Studio Code. Don't do Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code. Download and come to this link. click on it, download, and just install it like a normal software. I just tried to log into my account, but I'm facing problems to verify my number. So I tried to SMS in WhatsApp, but I think it requires some time. So don't worry, the OTP will come, Akash. Don't worry. In some time it will come. Otherwise, you can also try to sign up by Google. That's also fine. Okay. So guys, let's start. So once you open your VS Code, it will look like this for the first time. So I have created a folder outside now, and I'm going to be opening this folder in my VS Code so that I can do anything in that folder. So for that, just click on File. Let me just zoom it for you a little bit. Click on File and just click on Open Folder and simply go to your location. In my case, it's going to be GS Essentials. And here we are. We have opened that folder. So now whatever I do in this folder, that will be done in my main folder. So guys, it's nothing but the same folder. It's just open in VS Code. Now, as I said, the first thing that we need here is an HTML file. Because as I said, right now we are going to be running JavaScript inside the browser. So we need an HTML file. Okay. So let's click on this and let's create a new file and let's call it as index.html. So here we go, guys. And let's create a basic HTML boilerplate. And that's it, guys. As of now, you just need this. You don't need to code any HTML as of now because we don't need that for learning JavaScript. Okay. Just a very simple HTML file where you don't have any HTML. Because by working with this only, your JavaScript can work inside the browser. That's why you just need a plain HTML page. No elements, no divs, nothing as of now. Okay. Now then let's just copy the path of this file. So just right click on it, copy path, and now go in your favorite browser. I would suggest you to use Chrome, but for now you can go it for any browser. But in this case, I'm going to be using Chrome. Okay. So let's go there and let's paste the link and here we go. It's up and running, all good. Now guys, initially as I said, we are not going to be doing interactivity or we are not going to be creating any element here and all that stuff. Okay. Initially, we'll be doing basic programming. Now to see the output of basic programming, what you have to do is right click on your web page, click on inspect because right now we are not working with elements. Right click, click on inspect, and then this window will open. This is called as developer tools. Click on this so that it comes on right side. Now in this developer tools area, I am interested in this console. Okay, as of now, not on this console. Now this is the place, guys, where we can see our JavaScript's basic programming output. In future, we'll be working here. We'll be creating elements and working on them. We'll be animating them using JavaScript. But as of now, this is the area. Console. Console is just like command prompt of your JavaScript, guys. Console is simply like command prompt of your JavaScript. Mohammed, yes, I'm definitely Faiz. I'm definitely going to use live server. As of now, I'm not using because first, initially there are some new people. So for them, I just want to show how things look initially and afterwards refreshing. But from tomorrow, I'll be start using live server. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's go, everyone. Okay. And guys, you can also write JavaScript code here. So I'll be showing you how to do that as well. But for now, let's keep it normal. This is nothing but command prompt of your browser where you can run your JavaScript code. And also if there are some errors, you can see it here. Okay. So let's start, guys. Now, if you're working with HTML and if you want to write JavaScript, the first way is inside your body, you can go ahead and put a script tag. That's all. Now, inside this script tag, you can start writing your basic JavaScript, guys. You can start writing your JavaScript. Not only basic, anything. Anything related to JavaScript can come in between this area. Not here, not outside. Only between this area. So let's start, everyone. So now, guys, see, just like every other language, see, every language has some inbuilt features, right? You are not the creator of that language. We simply use what that programming language provides and we build on top of that. We create our things on top of what the programming language provides. Just like that, guys, in JavaScript also, there are a lot of inbuilt functionalities, a lot of inbuilt features and objects which JavaScript provides. We have to use them and build our own thing. That's what a programming language is, guys. We have to use whatever is available. So first of all, guys, in JavaScript, there is an inbuilt object called as console, which is available. This is an object, guys. Now, as of now, if you don't know what's an object, don't worry. In some time, I'm going to be telling you that. But for now, console. It's an object which is directly connected to this area, console area. That's why it's known as console. Okay. So console object is directly connected to this area. If you want to perform anything on here, if you want to print anything, if you want to see anything or do anything in here, you have to go with this object. Okay. So console. Now I want to learn how to print something on this area. Because if in future, if I do calculations and logic and I want to print that and see what's going on in my output, if I create some data, I want to print that and see what's going with my output. So for that, you need to learn how to print something here. And for that, there's a function. So object name dot. There's a function called as log. Okay. Which needs rounded brackets. Guys, anytime I say it's a function, you need round brackets. Okay. Because it is doing some functionality. That's why it's called as a function. Now, don't worry. In some time, we'll also learn more about functions. For now, it's fine. So console.log, and now inside this, whatever you write, it will be printed here. Whatever you want to write. So inside double quotes, now don't worry what is double quotes. I'm going to be telling you that as well. So double quote basically means a collection of characters. It's called as a string. So whenever you want to print a string, that means a collection of character, you have to put it inside the double quotes. String is always represented in double quotes, a collection of characters. So let's say I write hello everyone. And guys, in JavaScript, after every statement, you should always put a semicolon. Again, guys, just like other languages, it's not mandatory here. Semicolon in JavaScript is not mandatory, but I am suggesting you to put it because in future you might work with other languages as well. So if you stop putting semicolon in JavaScript, you might make mistakes in other languages as well, because there it is important. Here it's not mandatory, but I would suggest you to keep a good practice and put it always. Okay. Even if you don't put it, it works. So let me show you. So now, right now, guys, this line of code will print hello everyone on my console. It is exactly similar to printf of C, system.out.println of Java, console.writeLine of C sharp. Okay, exactly similar to all those statements. It's simply how you print. So let's save it. Guys, always save your code, go onto your web page that you've opened and just refresh. And here we go. Hello, everyone. That's amazing. We printed our first statement. And now, as you can see, it's also telling me this line is printed by using the code which was present at line number 13 of index.html file. And you can see it's on line number 13. Okay, and guys, one more thing. Even if I don't use semicolon, there will be no problems. It's still working. And guys, if you don't want to click here again and again, the shortcut is F5 for refresh. That's all. For everyone who doesn't know. Okay. Guys, that's how you print things. That's how easy it is. If you want to print more, you can just go ahead and, something like second line, whatever you want, you can just go on and keep on printing like this, and it will just keep on printing. Okay. This area is basically used whenever you perform some calculation, some logic, and you did some data storage and all that, and you want to see what's happening. You can print things here and see. It is a very powerful tool. Okay. So now, guys, that's how you print. Now, the next thing that you learn in any programming language is how to work with data. Because, guys, see, the main job of a programming language is to understand and to treat data. How? Because, see, guys, in digital world, now see, programming languages are basically used in computers. And in computers, everything is data. Whatever you write, whatever you see, whatever you go on browsers and see, right? Whatever you do it in applications, you are just dealing with data. That's why it's very important. So that means whenever you're learning a programming language, you need to understand how that programming language treats data, right? How to work with data by using that particular programming language, because everything digitally is just data. Okay. So now, guys, if you want to start working with data using JavaScript, and guys, mainly data is used where? For representation, for display purposes, for calculation purposes, for logic, for storage. These are the things where data is used for, and everything is just data online, right? Nothing is without data. So it's very important. So now, guys, if I want to start working with data in my programming language for calculations, for any reason, let's say, the first thing that we need to learn is how my programming language can store that data. Because just like our brains, if we don't store data, we cannot work with it. For example, if I just tell you to add two numbers, you'll ask me, what two numbers? Then I'll tell you, 2 and 5. First, that 2 and 5 goes in your brain. Then only you can perform calculation. Now it's very fast. That's why you don't know if it is going in your brain or not. But if I don't tell you about the data, you can't calculate. Even if I tell you that, okay, fine, take any random data, you still have to think and store it in your memory. Then only you can go ahead and, do all the stuff. That means the first important thing to work with data is to understand how to store data in any programming language, not only in JavaScript. So it's very important to learn here as well. So now, guys, let's see how to store data in a program so that we can use it for calculations and other purposes. So, guys, the most important thing that you need to start storing data in your program is something called as variable or variables, whatever you like. Now, first of all, before creating this, let's try to understand what exactly is a variable. So, see, guys, now, guys, this explanation is for everyone. I know that some of you might be already knowing this, but that's fine. This is for everyone, whoever is very new to programming, for them as well. So let me go to some other frame and let's go here. Now, see, guys, we know that in computer we also have brain, that is our memory where everything is stored. So, guys, even if you're writing a JavaScript program and here you're going to be creating data, internally your JavaScript program also uses computer's memory, which is RAM. Okay, so what happens is, as soon as you tell your program that, oh, I want to create a variable because I'm planning on to store some data, internally that program goes and registers a memory block for that variable. So, guys, let's say if I create a variable called as a, in which I store 2, because I want to use this 2 as my data for calculation. Internally, your program will go in the memory, in the RAM, it will register a block and it will name it as a, and it will store 2 in there. Now, in future, whenever you want to use this 2, you're going to be using a again and again. And whenever you use this a, your program will go in this memory and access 2 and let you know, okay, I find it's 2. So it's like a storage unit where everything is stored. Okay, so you can create n number of variables, and for everything it's going to create a different memory location again and again, again and again. Okay, so your all data is kept separately, and whenever you access it, it comes from a memory and you can use it. Okay, and don't worry, guys, that memory is not wasted. Once you close your program or your program is not in use, all that memory is cleared. So this memory block, guys, this memory block is what actually is called as a variable, a temporary memory location which your program creates. That is what you call as a variable, guys. This a is just a name. This is what we call as identifier of that variable, a placeholder that you use to access that memory space. Is that clear, guys? So this memory block is what we call as variable, and this a is identifier or the name of that variable or location. So, guys, a variable is nothing but a temporary memory location where you store data by identifiers. Okay, I think some people are asking about difference between Java and JavaScript, right? I think, yeah, guys, first of all, Java and JavaScript are completely different. They both are programming languages, but they have their own features and they work in their own fields. There are some things that they do that are common, but some things are completely different. For example, JavaScript can work with HTML and CSS elements. Java cannot work with them. So some things are common and some things are different. But yeah, both of them are programming languages, guys. Just like, you have so many languages in this world, but we speak to choose English, we speak to choose Hindi, depending on the region, depending on the environment. Just like that, you have Java, JavaScript, C Sharp. Depending on the operating system, depending on what you want to work with, you basically choose a particular language to learn. Just like that. Okay. So please tell me, after learning HTML, which language should you learn for web development? After learning HTML, you can go for CSS, then for JavaScript, then for little more advanced JavaScript, then for React, right? Just like that, you can go Node.js, learning JavaScript for the backend, databases, and then you'll become a complete full stack developer. Just like that. Just keep learning each and every stage. That's all. So, guys, let's go and let's see how to create identifiers and variables in our program. Let's go, everyone. And now, guys, in JavaScript, it's very easy. Okay, you just have to use a keyword called as var. Okay, now nowadays we should not use var, but I'm starting from scratch. So var, and then you should give a name to it. So let's say we call it as num. Okay, then equal to some value, let's say 23. So now think, guys, that internally a block is registered, and inside that 23 will be stored. And to access that block, I'm always going to use this name, num. Okay, so now, guys, I have created a variable which is holding 23 as my value, and now I want to see, I want to print that variable. I want to see how to do that, guys. It's very simple. You just go inside your console.log and just write that variable name, and then it will print whatever is stored inside that variable. So let's save it. Let's go onto your web page and let's refresh. And here we go, guys, 23. And guys, you can store whatever you want. If you want to store a floating value, that means a rational value. Let's say num2. So I can store 34.56. That's also fine. Let's print that as well. Yes, we can also use let. As I told you that I'm starting off with var, but I'm also going to talk about let and const. Don't worry. I'm also going to talk about that. Guys, num2. Here we go. See that? You can also store strings in that. For example, var first name equals, let's say, Saurabh. Now, guys, always remember that strings are always represented in double quotes. In JavaScript, double quotes and single quotes both are allowed, but I would suggest you to use double quotes always. Okay? Because that's how every other language works. So it will keep a clean format everywhere. So you can store normal whole numbers, real numbers. You can store your floating points, your rational numbers, decimal numbers. You can also store strings in there. So if you want to print it, again, same thing, console.log, let's say first name, just like that, and refresh. Here we go. It's also printed. Okay. And guys, see, if you look at the console properly, you can see that numbers are printed in blues. That means your console is also understanding that those things are numbers, and strings are always printed in black. So remember that, guys. In some cases, strings will be also printed in red, but that's a different case. As by default, strings are always printed in black. Okay. And numbers are in blue. Sir, but in my college told me JavaScript is more toughest languages. No, not at all. Any language is not tough. Some languages are sure a little bit lengthy, and that's why people perceive them as tough. But once you understand the base concept of any language, no language is tough. Trust me, Sahil. Like, for example, see, for me, Hindi and English is easy. Like, initially, for me, Hindi was easy, but English was hard. Now that I know somewhat English, I'm not going to say I'm completely good in English, but I somewhat know in English. For me, as of now, Spanish is tough because I've never spoken it and I never understand it. But for people who live in Spain, for them it's easy. For them, Hindi will be tough. It's just the perception, right? Nothing is tough. Once you get the concept, nothing is tough, Sahil. I hope I have made you understand the point. Okay? You just have to understand the main concept and start practicing speaking it, writing it. And that's all. It will become easy in just maybe few days. Which one is better? Both have different purposes, Utpal. So I'm going to show you both of them. Don't worry. So guys, I hope you understand that you can store any kind of data in variable. This is called as a string. This is called as a float. And this is basically a basic integer. Okay. How to see your console? Rosemary, you just have to see. First of all, open your browser. Run this page, index.html, that we have created. Right click on it. Copy the path. Paste your link in the browser. Then right click on your page. Click on inspect. And go on console, and that's it. When you click on inspect, this window will appear. Click on console, and that's it. That's all you need. Okay. So now, guys, let's move ahead. Now, few more things here, very important stuff here. Okay. That is, see, now what if I want to print something like this? Like here, it's only 23. I want to print the number is 23. So I want to attach some extra text to my variable. How can I do that? Now, guys, that extra text is always going to be a string because it's nothing but a collection of characters. So if I want to print that, I have to write the number is. But now I also want to print my variable. And guys, variables can't be printed inside double quotes. If I do it, see, if I put num in double quotes, see what happens. It prints num like a normal text. It is not identifying that num is a variable because inside double quotes, variables will never get identified because variables always work without double quotes. So now it's a problem. Then how do I print the number is num? Because the number is going to be text. It will definitely go in double quotes, but my num is a variable. It should never go in double quotes. So how am I going to print both of them together? So guys, what you have to do is you have to write them separately, but connect them both. You have to join them. You have to concat. Concat means joining. Okay, guys. So after your double quotes, the number is, you can use an operator called as plus. Plus in here is considered as concatenation operator. It also is used for addition in future, but in a string, plus is considered as concatenation for joining. And then after that, I can write my variable normally like this. The number is num. And here we go. The number is 23. But you can see now that 23 is now not in blue. Because guys, whenever you concat a string with a variable, that variable, no matter what it is, it's also converted to a string. See, that variable is still a number. But here, while printing, it has converted to a string. It is still a number. It can still be used as a number. But only for this printing area, when you're joining it with a string, it has been converted to a string. Okay. How do you print true and false based on logic statement? Yeah, for that we have to use conditions, Naveen. For that we have to use conditions, which we're going to be talk about in future as well. Yes, we'll talk about conditions, we'll talk about loops, guys, and then only we'll move ahead with DOM manipulation. So I think tomorrow's session will be for that only. So guys, I hope you're understanding, everyone. Let's do one thing. Let's comment this code and let's get a numeric variable called as age, like where age equals 24, something like that. Okay. Now let's say I want to print the name is, okay, let's remove this console.logs. And let's say I want to print the name is name. That is the name is, sorry, first name. So first name. So here we go. The name is Saurabh. And I also want to print and the age is. So I want to continue that string. So for that, guys, see, very simple approach. If you have a string and then after that a variable, put a plus. If you have a variable and after that you again need a string, put a plus. And again, double quotes, and the age is. And again a variable, plus. So guys, whenever you alternate between things, just a plus. String plus variable plus string plus variable plus string. It will go like that. Okay, simple. So let's say I can put age here. So now it will print the name is Saurabh and the age is whatever it is. Here we go. The name is Saurabh and the age is 24. Okay, so guys, that is how you basically concat multiple variables with multiple strings. But guys, that there's a problem with it. The problem is when you, and you will definitely have this, when you will have a big bunch of string where you have to concat 10, 20, 30 variables with a big string, then this plus will haunt you a lot because sometimes you might miss it somewhere. Sometimes you're writing multiple lines of text and you might miss some plus, and that will cause a lot of issues and errors. And if your string is dynamic, then it will cause more issues. And that's where JavaScript in 2015 suggested a much more better solution. That means instead of using it in this way, what you can do is you can use one more string literal called as backtick. Guys, this key is just above your tab and just before that one. This backtick. Okay, that's all. Backtick. Attendance, guys, you can mark your attendance. The link is there in the description of the video. The second link is for marking attendance, guys. Right now, if the server is busy, you can go ahead and check it out. Maybe after 5 minutes, it will be online. Okay, guys. So you can use something called as backticks instead of double quotes. And the best part about this is now don't need double quotes. Now you also don't need plus and all that stuff. Simply go and write the name is. And if you want to write a variable now, no need to do plus and go outside. Just use dollar curly brace and you can write your variable. So my variable name is first name. First name. And then and the age is dollar age. That's all. See? Now you don't have to worry about this plus, where to open it, where to close it, where to put the double quotes and all that stuff. So I run program with you. Okay, no issues, Sahil. No issues, buddy. I know. Okay, if you're running program with me, don't worry. Yeah, I can still do it. So guys, that's how you can go with backticks. And this is now the most preferred way. This is called as string templating, a much more better way of interpolating variables with your strings without worrying about double quotes, without worrying about when to open it, when to close it, without worrying about plus and all that stuff. And the best part is, guys, you can also write it in multiple lines and it won't cause any issue. See, even if I write it in multiple lines, no problem at all. I cannot do this with double quotes, guys. But with this, see, so that's fine, guys, because whatever space I give, that will be considered, but it will not give you any error. That's the best part. So you can easily write multiple lines of string without worrying about anything. That's the best part about this. But again, guys, we are not going to do it. We're not going to be doing it as of now. Let's go in a single line. And you can see now, both of them give you the same output. Guys, both of them are correct. There is no issue. But again, up to you. Whatever you feel is better, use it. For me, this is a lot better because I have used it a lot. I have faced issues in my past. That's why I always go with this because I like it a lot. Okay. The profit of attendance, guys, is basically you will get your certificate. So at the end of the course, you will get a certificate. Yes, Naveen. Yes, string templating. This is what we call as string templating. So, guys, I really hope that you're clear with the base idea of what JavaScript is and how to create variables and how to print something, everyone. Please confirm that, everyone. After I think I have done a half an hour teaching, so let me just confirm that first. Are you understanding everything? And moreover, are you guys enjoying the session? If you are, then guys, please like the session. I can see there are around 130 people watching, but there are only 70 likes. Okay, so that either means that you are completely into the video or you don't enjoy the session. So if you're enjoying it, guys, please like the video because that is what motivates me to, being that basically motivates me to, being energetic, like increasing my knowledge so that I can teach you and all that stuff. So guys, please like the video as well. So what is the difference between double single quotes? See, Sumit, normally in general programming languages, single quotes are used for characters, single characters, and double quotes were used for strings, collection of characters. In JavaScript, single quotes and double quotes both mean string. Okay, and this here is not a single quote, it's a backtick. See, double quotes look like this, single quotes look like this, and backticks look like this. Okay, so three different variations here, and all of them are for strings. Guys, in JavaScript, all these three are for strings. Okay, so yeah, that's how it is. After HTML without learning CSS, yes, you can learn JavaScript, but I would suggest you to learn some CSS, at least some basic CSS, and then start with JavaScript. But you can completely start with JavaScript just after learning HTML, so don't worry. Yes, definitely. Now, guys, let's move ahead with the next topic for today. So now we know two things. Now we know how to print something in JavaScript in various ways by attaching variables, and we also know how to create variables and store data in that and how to print that as well. Now, the next concept for today is how do we get backtick? See, backtick in every keyboard. You might be having an escape key in your keyboard, right? Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. QWERTY keyboard. I know. It's a very unique key. So a lot of times, sometimes people don't know it. Okay, so can you see this? Okay, let me just open image in new tab. Can you see this one? This one, this is what we call as backtick. Just above your tab and just before your one. This is what we call as backtick. This, the second one, the smaller one, backtick. So just below your escape, above your tab, before your one, you have this backtick. Okay, I hope you got it, guys. It's not backstrip, it's backtick. Okay, cool. Let's go, guys. Let's move ahead with some more things. And because we are already on time, it's already 7:30. So we're already at ending, but I'll take it for 5 to 10 minutes more because I want to complete more topics. And then tomorrow we can start with some fun things. Okay. Sir, I have a doubt for declaring variables. What's your doubt, Sahil? Can you tell me what's your doubt? I think, where is your doubt? Can you write it again? Can you write down your doubt, buddy? Because I don't find it in the chat, so please write it down. Okay, guys, till then, let's move ahead with the next concept that you should learn in any programming language that we call as operators. Okay, guys, so before everything, for everyone new here, let's learn some basics of operators. Now, I'm not going to go in complete depth because we don't have that much time today, but tomorrow I'll teach you again. We'll learn more about them. But for today, let me just introduce these things to you. So guys, operators in programming language are nothing but which help you to perform some operation. That operation can be calculation, right? Or some kind of logic. Okay. So guys, an operator in programming language is nothing but something that helps you to perform an operation. Okay. For example, plus. It's an operator. It will help you to perform addition. Minus. It's an operator. It will help you to perform subtraction. less than. It's operator. It will help you to perform check. If you want to check if some number is less than some other number, you will need this. Equal to, it's an operator which we are using to perform assignment, to assign Saurabh to this variable, to assign 24 to this age. So these are few examples, guys. So operators in programming language are something that help you to perform operations. It can be either calculation, it can be either logic, it can be either assignment, whatever you call, like there can be any need of it. Okay, so let's go and let's try to understand few of them. So let's get two variables where num1 equals 23, where num2. Now, guys, there are many more operators, but I'm trying to at least, show you 6 or 7 of them. But tomorrow when we come back, we'll also use the other ones. Okay. So let's say we have num1 and num2. And now let me show you. We'll create one more variable, okay, in which we'll store the result of whatever calculation we are performing. So I'm going to call it as res. Inside this, I'm going to store the result of the calculation that I'm going to perform on num1 and num2. Now, see, guys, always remember, yes, Sumit, yes. These are operators, okay? Now, based on what they are doing, they are divided into certain categories, okay? The two main categories are binary. There are three main categories there are: unary and ternary. These are the three main categories in which all these operators, much more than them, are divided into. Binary operators are a category where they work with two operands. Now, guys, when I say operands, that means the things that they use. For example, if I write 2 plus 2, so in this case, plus is your operator, and this 2 and this 2 are operands. So a plus needs two operands, two objects to work with. You cannot just write a plus or 1 plus. What is 1 plus? Now, I know it's a phone brand, but mathematically, what is 1 plus? Nothing. You need 1 plus 5, 1 plus 7, something like that. So plus is a binary operator because it works with two operands. Binary means two numbers, bi. Then you have unary, operators which work with only one operand. Now, don't worry, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about this. And ternary is nothing but which works with three operand. Is that clear, guys? So operand is nothing but the object on which the operator performs the operation. So like 2 plus 2 is an operation. Plus is the operator. And 2 and 2 or 2 and 3 are operands. Okay? So binary, which works with two operands, unary, which work with one operand, ternary, which works with three operand. Now, unary and ternary, we'll discuss, like we're going to be discussing them tomorrow. Let's start with some binary operators as of now. So, guys, I have created two variables, num1 and num2, storing 23 and 25. And now let's go and let's perform some operation. So I'll do num1 plus num2, and that's it. I'm performing any addition. Plus is my operator. Num1 is one operand. Num2 is second operator. Both of them will get added, and whatever is the result, it will be given to, or it will be stored in res. So, guys, this equal to here is also a binary operator. This is an assignment operator, which basically assigns a value to a variable. Like, it's assigning 23 to num1. It's assigning 45 to num2. Same way, it's going to assign the result of these two's addition into res. And then we can see it, what's going on. So if I just print res, you will see, oh, there's some issue. Oh, sorry, I forgot that. .log. See, guys, so console also helps you to understand the problem. See, it told me console is not a function. Why? Because console was an object. I forgot the .log. That's why there. And here we go. 68. Very simple. I forgot that .log. And guys, you can do anything. I can perform minus. So you get minus 22. I can perform multiplication. So for that, you have a star, asterisk. You can perform division. And you'll get your answer. Okay. For you to understand, let me make it a little more simpler. I know because I'm also very weak in maths. So yeah. So let's simply go and null is a value, Sumit. Null is not an operator. Null is a keyword. It's a value. It's not an operator. Okay. So guys, let's make it 49 and 7. So now we know, right? We want what we get when we divide 49 by 7, or maybe 63. We know what it gives, right? Here we go, 9. So if you divide 63 by 7, you will get 9. And then there is also modulo. Guys, now remember, for everyone new here, this plus, minus, multiply, divide, and modulo. These are the basic mathematical calculation operators. That's why they are also called as arithmetic operators. Now, guys, don't mind my spellings. I'm very bad with spellings, but they are called as arithmetic operators because they perform basic mathematical calculations, and they're very easy. Now, guys, one thing to understand here is slash and modulo, they work exactly same. They both are used for division. It's just slash will give you the quotient and modulo will give you the remainder. You can see here, if I perform slash, I get 9 because 7 9s are 63. 9 is going to be the quotient. That's how basic division works. But if I go with modulo, 0, because 7 9s are 63. 63 minus 63, the remainder will be 0. Okay, if I make it 64, then the remainder should be 1 because 7 9s are 63. 64 minus 63 is 1. So remainder is going to be 1 and I'll get 1. Is that clear, everyone? So modulo and slash are same. They are both for division. It's just one gives you quotient and one gives you remainder. And depending on the needs, in future, we'll use any one of it. Now, guys, let's talk about the second category. The second category that you have here is called as relational operators. Relational operators are basically for comparing two data. When you want to compare two data and see what's going on. For example, if you want to check, is 2 less than 4? Now, we know what is it, but again, what we want to check it programmatically. Is 2 less than 4? Is 4 less than 8? It is greater than 5, something like that. So for all that, guys, you have relational operators. If you want to perform comparison of different data in your program. So, guys, we have operators like less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, equal to, and not equal to. These are some relational operators, guys. And remember, guys, whenever you perform a relational operation, the output will be only either true or false, because either the comparison is correct, either the comparison is incorrect. There is no draw. It's not a calculation. Basically, it's comparison. So using relational operators, you perform comparison, and comparison can only give you either yes, your comparison is correct, so true, or it will simply give you false. And guys, true and false in programming are considered as values. They are called as Boolean values. True and false, guys, in any programming language are called as Boolean values. Let me show you an example. Let's go here and let's compare two data. For example, 34 less than 21. Now, guys, see, I'm using two data. Now, guys, in place of numbers, now why I'm doing this is basically because just want to show you that this also works. So either you write 3421 or you write num1, num2. Doesn't matter. You can also write variables. You can also write data. Okay, up to you. So now, guys, in this case, check it out. Num1 is less than num2. Tell me, guys, is num1 less than num2? That means 64 less than 7. Not, it's not correct. So it will definitely give me false. If I write the opposite, greater than 2. And just like that, guys, you have less than equal to, where it checks it should be either less than or equal to. So for example, if I make it 64 and 64, you know that 64 is not less than 64. But 64 is equal to 64. So it will be true. Because here I'm writing less than or equal to. That means either less than or equal to. So in this case, I'll get true. Because I know it's not less than, but it's equal to. And just the opposite is greater than. Now, if you want to check if two variables are equal or not, for that, guys, you have equal to, equal to. Now, in general English, we only use equal to. But in programming, guys, we always go double equal to. Why? Because in programming, equal to is already used for some other purpose. That is for assignment. That's why for checking for equality, we have to go with double equal to. Okay? It basically checks if both of them are same or not. So in this case, it will be true. But if I just go ahead and, put 78 here, now it will be false. Because 64 is not equal to 78. And just like that, guys, if I put not equal to, then it should become true, because yes, 64 is not equal to 78. Here we go. True. Is that clear, everyone? Are we understanding relational operators? How to do mastery in JS? I think practice, Sumit. A lot of practice. Learn basic JS first. Start performing DOM manipulation. Start creating small projects. First thing always, start creating small projects. And then start creating by seeing things. Go on different sites. See how things are working. Try to emulate that thing. Create 10, 20 things of like that. And in no time, without you even knowing, you will master JS. Yes, not out. That is the last thing I'm going to explain today. Now, guys, see, everyone. In JavaScript, you can see while creating variables, you don't define types. Like in other programming languages, while creating variables, you define integer, right? You define Boolean, you define string. So basically, in other languages, you tell the programming language that in other languages, guys, repeat what you said about double quote. Double equal to is basically for checking if both of them are equal or not. That's it, Rosemary. That's all. Double equal to is for checking if both of them are equal to or not. As I said, normally we go for equal to, but here equal to is already used for something else. It's used for assignment, right? Assigning 64 to num1. So equal to is already getting used as for some other thing. That's why to check if two things are equal or not, we have to use double equal to. You cannot use equal to. You have to use double equal to. Now, guys, as I was saying, that in other languages, while creating variables, you define a type, like integer, string, so that the program knows, oh, this is my type. This is what I can store. But in JavaScript, guys, you don't define a type. You simply write var. That means I can store whatever I want. A string, a Boolean, a decimal value, a normal integer, right? So JavaScript is considered a loosely typed language. JavaScript doesn't have strict typing. So JavaScript is a loosely typed language. And it causes one problem. And the problem is, see here, guys, if I go and if I do something like this, 36 in single quotes or double quotes equal to 36, which is a number. Now, technically, guys, this should be false because a string and a number cannot be compared. A string and a number cannot be compared. But since JavaScript doesn't check for types because it's a loosely typed language, that's why for JavaScript, even if it is not a number, if it only looks like 36, it's fine. It's true. That's the problem. In other languages, guys, it will be false. It will be an error because you cannot compare string with a number, right? Because there you have strict typing. In JavaScript, you don't have typing. You don't write any type. You just use var, right? That's why for JavaScript, normal string 36 and a number 36, both of them are equal. Because right now it is only checking that if they look same or not. It's not checking if they are numbers or not, if they have same value or not. Are they looking same? Yes. Cool. True. And that's something we want to avoid as a programmer. And that's why JavaScript introduced something called as triple equal to, which works perfectly. It also checks for type. It also checks for if they're equal or not. So now if I check this, it will give me false because a string and a number cannot be compared. So even if they're looking same, they are not correct. They both should be either number or both should be either string. And then only it will be true. So guys, you should always use triple equal to. Stop using double equal to, start using triple equal to in JavaScript. Because in JavaScript, double equal to only checks for lookalike. But if you want to do proper equality, type-wise, equality-wise, always go for triple equal to. So guys, I really hope that you guys understood everything that we have learned today. Because you can see we are already upon time, right? It was 7:30 and we are at 7:48. So I extended a little bit, and I hope that will be fine. Okay, I hope I won't get a scolding for that. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed the whole session, everyone. I really hope that you guys understood everything. I really hope that all the new people who never learned JavaScript understood something here. Now, tomorrow we'll talk about conditional statements, we'll talk about loops, and we'll also talk about DOM manipulation. And then we'll be ready on third day to create all that stuff that I shown you earlier today. right? Creating models, clicking and showing things and all that stuff. The shortcut is control slash, all is well. Just go on that line and use control slash comment. And if you want to uncomment, again control slash. That's all. Is that clear? All is well. Guys, come on, everyone in the chat, tell me, did you guys enjoy the session? And also, guys, please don't forget to like. That motivates me. Trust me, guys. That is something that tells me that okay, that you guys are enjoying session, and I have to come with more energy because you're liking it. Okay. So, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I really hope that you guys understood everything about variables, operators, printing stuff in different ways. Because tomorrow it will be conditional statements, it will be loops, and it will be starting with DOM. And yes, also functions. Himanshu tomorrow will be understanding about functions as well. Don't worry, buddy. Okay. So, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If I get syntax error on my console, how do I resolve it? That means there's some problem in your code, Rosemary. So you have to read the code again. For example, if I make a mistake like this, I forget the plus here. So now I'll get an error, missing bracket. And you can see it also shows the line number. Oh, line number 19. So go to line number 19 and figure out what's the mistake. So you have to check it. You have to read the code. That's how you figure out initially. Is that clear? Not clear on double equal. Naveen, what's the confusion, buddy? As I said, for double equal to a string 36 and a number 36, both of them are equal. See, I'll get true here. I'm getting true. Because for double equal, both are same. Even if one is string and one is number. But this should not happen. That is why we go for triple equal to. Now, if I do triple equal to here, for it, a string and a number cannot be compared. That's why you will get false. Because it's a string and it's a number. They cannot be equal. That is why you have to forcefully put everything as correctly. Number and number. Then you'll get true. Okay. So, guys, that's it from today. I'll meet you all tomorrow when we talk about functions, conditions, loops, and also some basic DOM manipulation. And then on next day, that is going to be Wednesday, we'll talk about creating that project and all that stuff. Okay, everyone. Yes, you can put linters in JS. Yes, not out. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do linting here. Okay. Thank you so much, Rosemary, for the kind words. Thank you so much, Utpal. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Please don't forget to like the session before going, and please don't forget to mark your attendance. Yes, Naveen, that's the correct way. But normally you should always go. No, don't go with string equal to number. It should be either string equal to string or number equal to number. Okay. You should never compare two different data types normally. Thank you so much, Cowboy Arts. Thank you so much, buddy. To get your certificate, Sahil, there is an attendance link in the description. You have to mark attendance for the 3 days, and then you can easily get your certificate on the last day. Okay? There is an attendance link in the description of the video, Sahil. Okay? So thank you so much, guys. Double equal to doesn't check for types. Exactly, Utpal. Exactly. Double equal to only check if they are same or not. Triple equal to also checks if their type is same or not. If they are both numbers or not. Okay? So that's all, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Please like the video. And if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. And also go on to LetsUpgrade.in and check out the courses, B.Tech CSE and Java DSA. And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy Independence Day, guys, in advance. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm hoping that we'll be getting a lot of Indian flags spamming in the chat. Our flags spamming in the chat. Okay. So happy Independence Day, everyone. Enjoy your day. Do something good tomorrow. Do something good every day, actually. But again, happy Independence Day, everyone. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye, guys. Good night.